3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Welcome back to the Wheatley, brought to you by Nutrien. Winners the Grinners, winner of today's Ressie's game, the coach. Paul Jasper, welcome, mate.
Thanks, Macca. How are you?
Very well. Take us back for coaching last year. Just missed out in the finals. So what happened last year? The big improvement now for this year.
Yeah, the side behind us took all our players, and we went over to Cunderdin, and we just missed out on a game, 2 games out. And yeah, we were pipped to the post. We missed out by probably 2 points, I think, in the finals last year.
It's a story from the ages, the Cunderdin Footy Club last year with their A-grade premiership. Just snuck into the 4 after losing about the first 7 or 8 games and then undefeated through the grand final. That's a massive turnaround because I don't think you'd run for 3 years before that.
No, it's a huge turnaround. Not just that, but history will say that we hadn't won since 2014. So to turn it back, within that quick is a fantastic effort. I think you might have even commented last year that we had a bloke in on June 30, Colton Tholstrup, who was actually here all year, but we got him in today, so he's playing today, and he'll have a blinder.
Yeah, he sounds like a Marvel's character, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he's a superstar, that kid.
Hey, tell me, take us back to the start of your career. Where was it?
Yeah, we played nippers here, and played with a lot of the boys that I'm playing reserves footy with now. So,
Who were your coaches?
I remember Shane Darmody coaching me, or at least umpiring me and telling me
Did he coach or just continually drop an F-bomb at you?
He'd run around with his nose and tell me off most of the time. Yeah. So, no, he was coach-wise. I think I had Sid Elliott, actually, of all people, was a Nippers coach here. And then moving through, I went and played with Cunderdin and York in the Northern Comp. And, then went down to Perth.
Yep. One of 4 brothers. Geez, Danelle must have had a hell of a time. Dash would have just gone back to the pub. But what's it like growing with 4 brothers?
Now, the oldest one's all right. Todd's all right. It was Craig and Mash that were the trouble. They used to flog me. So,
now, is there some kind of karma going on? Because what's the chance of Mash of actually getting going in the forward line after 300 games in the back line for Cunderdin?
0. No, never going to make it down there. He'll cut the ball off. He doesn't deliver the footy, so it's not going to happen.
Hey, tell me some of the highlights of your footy career. How many games you played?
Closer to 300, I think. Yep.
And coaching now, which is a fantastic achievement. You must have got a fair bit out of it. And there's some fantastic stories that come out of Ressie's football in particular. But you had a ripper today with a young fella kicking a goal. Yeah,
we did. Yeah, last year we had Harry Williams got absolutely poleaxed by Todd Rogers, and at the best of times you never want to be hit by him.
Just get hit by a salmon gun. That doesn't work, does it?
Yeah, and they took him for scans in Perth, and it turned out he had they found cancer. Battled last year through chemo and got the all clear at the start of the week, actually. Sent me a text, and through an unfortunate training drill on Friday night where a bloke did his hammy, he came in today and he slotted a goal. So good, real good story.
Yeah, it is, and the boys all got around him, and they say all poked around the corner around here at the moment. Winners are grinners, but it's a cracking game of Ressies.
Yeah, it was really good. They're traditionally ones Cunderdin over the last few years will struggle to win. We spoke about at half-time, just, having a crack. And we know that the poor fella's doubled up. He's playing another game, but the youth of our side will hopefully in the 4th quarter pay off.
Hey, tell us, who were the heroes of the Cunderdin Footy Club when you first started playing with the big boys?
Definitely not Dan Carter, who's in the back now. Look, we had, same as most clubs, we've got paid players that come up from Perth, but locally you had the likes of Shane Darmody and obviously my brothers, Craig Hill, Rex Lewis when he was playing for Cunderdin. The Hill brothers, Ross Pearce, as a young fella, they're the ones.
They were superstars back in the 80s, weren't they, you blokes?
Yeah, look, it was a nice time to be growing up and watching footy. 97 probably burns a little bit, even as a little kid. Watching that replay in 97, I can still remember it.
I don't know who won that day, so we won't go into it. Hey, opposition players, who were the matchup you would have been always? Nippy Rovers type, were you, Paul?
No, I was always battling to get into the league side because Pizzle was a better jumper than me. You wouldn't believe it now. But I used to have to compete against him. In terms of people playing against, the hardest ruckman was Balzer. I think
he was just a revelation, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he gave me a clinic in Tamman. I think we kept Keller Tamman to not many that day and came off the ground. I remember that was the year we won the premiership, and the boys were going, "Oh, that was a really easy game," and that was still the hardest game of footy I've ever played. Yeah.
Hey, a lot of effort goes into a game of footy. We've had hockey this morning and game of netball just a minute ago, and Ressies, and it's a full day for our volunteers. You've been on the committee for a while. We can't run this stuff without our volunteers, can we?
No, that's right. It's the volunteers that are on the committee, but it's probably the ones that aren't. It's the unsung heroes that put the crop in, that are, behind the bar, behind the canteen, doing the training. We got a very good training contingent. Those guys that come up, we've got Todd and Bert, and now we've got young Norm. We're very lucky here in Cunderdin, and we're proud of it. We've just got to, hopefully all of the clubs in the oven, have the same kind of luck, and we can stick around for another 20 years.
It is. It's getting harder and harder, and we're always worried about a reserves competition, but we haven't had any forfeits this year. We had a bit of COVID here and there, but and it's just been really good games of footy, and 2 games of footy is really important a day like today, isn't it?
No, it really is. Cunderdin's fortunate. We've got the Ag College, and we've got a few injuries at the moment, but no one likes seeing kids miss out. I mean, the reserves comp at the moment is 16 and 4. I'm trying to push that we can have at least, 16 and 6 like the Eastern Districts or something like that, because there is kids still missing out on footy. And while we've got them, they should be allowed to play.
Thanks for what you do for the Cunderdin Football Club and also your involvement, and best of luck for the rest of the year, mate.
Yeah, cheers, Macca. All the best.
Done.
Cheers, mate. Here we go!